Tonight on Cougar News, we tell the story of a child who continues to battle a deadly disease.
Also, find out if diet soda is actually worse for your health.
And see if the Cougars can continue their dominance on the gridiron. Cougar News starts now.
This is Cougar News.
Hello and welcome to Cougar News. I'm Monique Urquidez.
And I'm O'Shea Marlon. Here's the latest from the Cougar Newsroom.
Los Angeles Airport was shut down on Friday due to an armed gunman in Terminal 3. Cougar News spoke with a passenger who was in the middle of the chaos.
That was the sound many frantic travelers heard on Friday morning as a lone gunman entered Terminal 3 at LAX and fired shots in the terminal.
We heard that the first shot, and we both kind of went, no way, that's not happening in this area. And then there were more shots, and that's when I had stood up and screamed out, everybody get down, there are guns.
Shooter Paul Ciencia entered Terminal 3 and started shooting off rounds on what many believe was an AR-15 assault rifle. The shots killed TSA agent Gerardo Hernandez, as well as injuring 6 others on site. While the attack caused many travelers panic, frustration, and overall fear, they were released later on Friday afternoon. Many, however, were forced to carry their luggage miles across LA and even forced to stay in hotels far away from their family. However, it was a small price to pay for the scar that will be left on them forever.
When I was on the phone with my wife before we got disconnected, I said, I hear gunshots and we're trying to get out of here. I said, tell the kids I love them. If something happens to me, I love you. And to check out or to have to say those words to anybody for any reason in your life, it's just a horrible thing. So for that, I'm not sweating the small stuff anymore.
After a highly contagious stomach virus ripped through Carl Arts last week ago, the campus was finally open to students and staff today. The school's administration is still working with the Los Angeles County Health Department to find exactly what caused the norovirus, which left 68 people ill. Health officials suspect a bad bug may have come from students consuming contaminated food or drink. Hazmat crews reportedly spent several hours this past weekend scrubbing the cafeteria and surrounding areas. Although reluctant to release information, the school said it took all precautionary measures to make sure all Cal Arts students were safe when they reopened early today.
The New Hall-Saugus Union and Sulphur Springs school districts all held elections on Tuesday for positions on their respective school boards. Incumbents Lori McDonald and Carrie Clegg were able to hold their positions on the Sulphur Springs board, while Ken Chase was able to beat out Michael Hogan for the 3rd spot. For Saugus Union, all 3 incumbents, Judy Umbeck, Paul De La Cerda, and Doug Bryce, were able to remain in office. For the New Hall School District, the 3 incumbents, Christy Smith, Phil Ellis, and Brian Walters, also held their positions.
The most difficult battle for an average 6-year-old is finishing their homework, but not all kids are so lucky. One local child has to deal with so much as his family finds a cure for a rare disease. Jesse Canales tells us more.
Everything I multiple disorder.
At the age of 6, Richie had over 9 surgeries, which included multiple stomach bypass surgeries, 9 transfusions, and more than 250 blood draws. Richie has a rare disease, so rare that doctors simply labeled it multiple disease disorder. There have been 2 other reported cases in Minnesota, but both of those children died at the age of 2. What began as a simple infection diagnosis 2 days after birth led to many trips in and out of the hospital.
I didn't understand what was happening when these things were happening. Nobody prepares for the unknown.
3-week-old Richie had his first surgery on the stomach, but the surgery did not take, and shortly after, he found himself lying on the hospital bed.
To not know why your child's sick but need a surgery was the hardest thing for me to understand, because nobody could always explain why he needed what he needed.
First 2 years of his life, Richie had severe gastrointestinal dysfunction, resulting in him constantly vomiting. At the age of 2, the combination of his immune system failing and pneumonia forced him out of school to learning from home. In fact, he spends the majority of time at home.
He lives in a bubble. It's his happy bubble is what we call his home. We try to make it as comfortable of an environment as he possibly could have.
Richie also has respiratory problems and needs daily steroid respiratory treatment for his asthma and damaged lungs.
He was afraid for a while to say what was bothering him because he's afraid that he was going to get ran to the doctor.
The biggest scare Richie and his family have had was when many of his vital organs started to fail, including his heart.
When he was going crashing down, basically I would walk him in, and I wouldn't just walk him in, I'd have to carry him in and put him on the table, and of course I would always ask why. What is making him do this? And he started to hear, I think at the age 3.5, this is the way it's going to go, and it's just going to get worse from here, and eventually he's going to die.
When his heart began shutting down, many doctors refused to operate because of his immune system. After Vanessa sent out several letters to the best hospitals, she finally got a positive response, and Richie was airlifted out to the Mayo Clinic Hospital in Minnesota to receive arterial septal defect surgery. The surgery was successful, and he spent a month in recovery.
Reason and these trials that he goes through are, God's doing. As sad as it sounds, I believe that there's going to be an answer. I believe that he's going to have a resolution.
The last 2 years, Richie and his family have spent fighting his disease. New tests are being run on Richie called whole exome sequencing, hoping to find the cause and a cure. The final costs for Richie's medical procedures and homeschooling have begun to take a toll on the family. The family began a charity organization called Richie's Fight for Life Foundation to help bring awareness and fund medical expenses for his disease.
Richie's Fight for Life Foundation is teaming up with AutoNation stores for a shoe drive. They hope that this will be a step forward to finding a cure.
Shoe donation boxes can be found throughout local auto center dealers. The family hopes to raise a goal of 5,000 shoes by November 24th. For Cougar News, Jesse Canales.
I'm good.
And now for breaking news, we have Tigran Martirosyan.
What's the breaking news tonight, Tigran?
Guys, if you're at all interested in buying and sharing stock, you want to sit back and pay attention because Twitter has launched some big news. Yes, they're about to enter the unforgiving world of Wall Street. Twitter set the price of its initial public offering at $26 a share, valuing the company at roughly $18 billion. Twitter shares are set to begin trading Thursday on the New York Stock Exchange. One company that won't be sharing stock anytime soon is Blockbuster. The one-time giant video and DVD rental will close its last 300 or so company-owned stores. The company will end in its retail and by mail distribution by early January 2014. Dish CEO Joseph Clayton released a statement saying, quote, "This is not an easy decision, yet consumer demand is clearly moving to digital distribution of video entertainment," end quote. Here's something you might want to videotape. Earlier today, a city staffer was out at the sports complex taking a few photos of the new Golden Valley extension, but he found something a little cuter. A kitten that was stuck in a tree just across the street from where the staffer was at. He was able to find a ladder nearby and bring the little guy down to safety. And when last heard, the wayward kitten was enjoying some warm milk at the city hall, where he was then adopted by a manager of the city office. And guys, how about the old kitten in a tree story to get the rest of our show going? That'll do it for breaking news. For the latest in breaking news, check out www.cougarnews.com. Thanks, guys. That will do it for breaking news.
November 22nd, 1963, one of the most infamous days in American history that saw President John F. Kennedy gunned down by Lee Harvey Oswald. But did Oswald act alone? A federal investigation spearheaded by Chief Justice Earl Warren says yes, but a former COC political science instructor says no. Dr. James Keller will soon publish a book that offers new theory on how the president's assassination was part of a much larger conspiracy. Keller shared his thoughts with students and faculty in Mentry Hall. Keller believes rogue elements of the CIA and the Mafia wanted Kennedy dead because both groups believed the president should have invaded Cuba. Keller also cites a congressional investigation in 1978 that says Oswald knew about the Mafia-CIA connection, that members of both groups may have used Oswald in the plot to kill Kennedy, but Keller says that the investigation didn't go far enough.
I think it's unfortunate that the two official investigations did not leave any continuing venue to look at new evidence and so on. And I think that I feel as a political scientist, part of my job is to fill in the vacuum that were left by these two groups. I mean, there are a lot of other individual scholars, attorneys, investigators that have felt the need. I think there's a kind of a public obligation to get to the bottom of this crime.
One of the most difficult choices facing college students at the moment is, what major do you choose? COC students took a major step toward answering that question at Major Quest. Chillier temperatures forced organizers to move the event inside the Cougar cafeteria. All undecided students were invited to the 3-hour meet and greet. Along with useful info, department heads from photography to political science also handed out stickers and coupons so students could also grab lunch.
You never know what kind of crowd you're going to get every year. The past couple years we've had successful events, and this year I think this is probably our best attended event that we've had for Major Quest, and since I've been doing this in 2006, so I'm really pleased with how it's turned out.
Coming up on Cougar News, what do Breaking Bad and Diet Soda have in common?
Plus, what's hot at the box office? A really stacked entertainment section is next.
When you're in the mood for endless Italian dishes, Vincenzo's Pizza is your one-stop shop.
From their hand-tossed thin crust pizzas, to their meaty Chicago dogs and their toasty sandwiches, to their creamy chicken Alfredo pasta.
I love their chicken Alfredo pasta.
Vincenzo's new haul has exactly what your appetite desires.
With fresh ingredients, 12 cold beers on tap, and live entertainment on the weekend, you will not be disappointed.
Vincenzo's Pizza, inch for inch, the best pizza in the Santa Clarita Valley.
You are so worthless. Why don't you just go kill yourself?
It's the first time I've ever seen the same letter grade across all your classes. Get out! Let's break. You can't shove me. Walk right here. Nobody wants to beat it.
While a lot of you were picking up pumpkins at Lombardi Ranch last weekend, there was a lot of monkey business going on just seconds away at the Gibbons Center. Haley Cook tells us more.
Who knew you could find endangered tropical mammals hanging around in Santa Clarita? The Gibbons Center is located only minutes away from Santa Clarita on Bouquet Canyon Road, and on Saturday they hosted a fundraising event to help keep the sanctuary up and running.
What we're doing today is having our annual or biannual fundraiser. This one's called Thanksgiving. We are run completely by donations here. So these fundraisers are very important for us, for our operation. We have 41 Gibbons here. We spend about $600 a week on produce. So it's a big, we need a big budget, and that's just for feeding the Gibbons.
The center is always in need of some extra hands, so getting involved with the endangered unique creatures is easy and fun.
We're open every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to noon, and you can just come. You don't have to make an appointment. We are right now in the process of developing an educational program, and eventually it will be K through 12. But it'll start in, I believe, next semester, and that'll be for 2nd and 3rd graders. And really, you can go on our website and see our volunteer opportunities. We are very highly volunteer-based, since there's only 3 of us, and it's a good opportunity for people because you can, once you do get into the primate keeping volunteer, the primate caregiver volunteer program, you can really get fairly up close and personal with the Gibbons because we do hand feed them, and that's an opportunity you don't really get everywhere.
For more information on how you can get involved with the Gibbons, go to www.gibbonscenter.org. I'm Haley Cook for Cougar News.
Did you know excessive soda drinking could leave you looking like a Breaking Bad extra? In a case study published in the journal, general dentistry researchers compared the mouths of cocaine and methamphetamine users to the mouth of a habitual diet soda drinker and found the same level of tooth erosion in each of them.
I don't want soda at all.
What are some of your reasons for that?
I don't want to be unhealthy. I mean, water is good.
The citric acid in diet sodas weakens and destroys tooth enamel over time, so the extra 140 plus calories you save by drinking diet sodas might not be worth the risk to your pearly white.
Paying for college doesn't have to be stressful. The Jack Oakey and Victoria Horn Oakey Charitable Foundation offers $11,000 annually to fine and performing arts students at College of the Canyons. Scholarship Foundation representatives give away multiple scholarships each year to students who attend a film screening of one of Jack Oakey's works. This year's presentation included a screening of the 1940s film Young People, starring Jack Oakey and Shirley Temple, and a question and answer time with film editor Michael Jablo, who edited over 40 films.
A scholarship, I think, for anyone towards what they want to do is just one of the best things you can get. I think it's really awesome that they do this every year. School's expensive and textbooks are expensive, and if you're an artist, life is expensive, you know, because you suffer for your art. So yeah, I really appreciate this whole scholarship opportunity a lot.
Hands down, The Walking Dead is now one of the most recognizable franchises in the entertainment industry. Michael Jordan had a chance to meet with the franchise's creator, Robert Kirkman, to talk about the series' rise to success.
Well, it debuted in October of 2003, so that's why we're celebrating our 10th anniversary this October, which is exciting. It started very small. It wasn't a very big hit, but it did gain momentum in the comic book industry very quickly. So it was like after like maybe 3 or 4 months, you know, the popularity really was already starting to build, and you know, it hasn't really stopped yet. It's kind of crazy.
When asked about how he felt about his intellectual property, also known as an IP, being adapted from the original comic book into a TV show as well as video games, he replied,
I think the only time that is not good is when the original IP holder or the guy who created the IP, you know, isn't getting, you know, compensated fairly. You know, someone like a Jack Kirby or, you know, Steve Ditko or somebody like that. You know, otherwise, I think it's fine. I mean, I think that, you know, I don't really have a problem with it. You know, I feel like, you know, with Walking Dead especially, like, I'm actually involved, I'm in the mix. I feel like Hollywood actually respects creators a lot more than they did, you know, in years past, because I think they learned collectively that, you know, it results in a better product. And so, you know, as long as I've got a seat at the table and I'm actively involved in the adaptation of my material, I think it's a great thing. I mean, you know, I'll be able to put my kids through college, and you know, I'm doing pretty well. So I can't complain. Like it's a pretty good thing.
all right, and how about literature in the zombie field? How do you feel about other work besides your own?
Well, for the most part, I try not to read it just because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be like immersed in that kind of stuff while I'm trying to tell a story in the same vein. So I do try to avoid it for the most part. Like I've purposefully never read the Zombie Survival Guide just because, you know, everything in the Zombie Survival Guide is pretty much all you could ever do in this situation, pretty much. But I mean, I know there's a lot of really good stuff out there, and I hope that one day after The Walking Dead is over, I'll be able to like go out and get a bunch of these books and finally read them. So I'm excited about that.
Michael Jordan, Cougar News, Los Angeles.
And now we head over to Jesse Canales.
What's entertaining for us this week, Jesse?
Oh, guys, I got a concert and a few films for you. The Masters College Wind Ensemble is presenting its annual fall concert. The concert will be held at the Musical Recital Hall on the Masters College campus. The group will be playing a wide range of musical masterpieces under the direction of Dr. Stephen Ofer. For more information, visit masters.edu/music. Woody Allen's play Again, Sam is debuting at the Repertory East Playhouse here in Santa Clarita. The romantic comedy tells a classic tale. Girl meets boy, boy meets an inferiority complex, crippling anxiety, and frequent fantasies of Humphrey Bogart. Through fix-ups and letdowns, passion and panic attacks, Allen navigates bachelor life, guided by the embodiment of style and machismo of film star Humphrey Bogart. Join the REP and Gem Mortgage for an opening night gala with a complimentary wine reception on Friday, November 15th. The show runs until December 14th. Tickets are available online at www.repeastplayhouse.org or call 661-288-0000. The Nordic god picks up his hammer once again in Thor, The Dark World, opening in theaters everywhere this Friday. Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman return in the second installment in the Marvel comic book series about the mythic god. Thor has to save Earth in all 9 realms after an ancient race led by Malekith, who threatens to return the universe into darkness. The mighty Malekith is an evil so powerful, not even the great Odin or Asgard can withstand him. No matter the outcome of this blockbuster battle, one thing is for sure, the film is guaranteed to be electrifying. The unexplainable has arrived with Mr. Nobody, a sci-fi fantasy film with endless possibilities. Starring Jared Leto, this film tells the life story of a 118-year-old named Nemo. The sci-fi fantasy begins when Nemo has to make a vital life decision on whether or not to live with his mother or father at the age of 9. The film opened up across the United States but last week, but actually premiered last year at COC's Friday Night Film Festival for free. That's all for me in entertainment. Now to send it back to our super dynamic duo, Moshe and Monique.
Tens of thousands of sci-fi, pop culture, and comic book fans took over the Los Angeles Convention Center over the weekend. Cougar News' Justin Mousen has more.
Comic book icon Stan Lee brings all the fun and excitement from San Diego's Comic-Con a little closer to home with his 3rd annual Stan Lee's Kamikaze. Attendees at the event had the opportunity to buy limited edition artwork to benefit a good cause.
We are the Stan Lee Foundation. We basically raise money to help children learn how to read through graphic novels, comic books, anything that gets them excited about reading. You can get any one of our prints, 1 for $15, 2 for $20, or you can do our specialized signed Ninja Turtle prints. They all get you an entry into winning one of our Stan Lee signed prints. If you take a donation, anything really helps.
Here at Kamikaze, fans had a great opportunity to meet their favorite celebrities up close and personal. And for the celebrities, it was a great chance to interact with their most loyal fans.
It's very nice seeing some of our West Coast fans that we never met before, and also just to see people in this convention type of atmosphere.
Yeah, it's fun to be around also this whole sort of mass fandom thing that goes on here. Is kind of a cool, you get a little bit of everything.
Doing conventions is sort of a new thing for me, but meeting fans certainly is. And I mean, I've been touring for 30 years, and as much as possible, I try to meet fans after the show at the bus, and have, you know, sometimes the autograph sessions at the bus are longer than the actual show. I like to, try to stay close with my fans, and this is fun for me. So I enjoy being at a place like this, and what's not to like?
Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Justin Mousen.
Do you find yourself waiting around for your ride? Or maybe in between classes? Why not check out the COC Campus Art Gallery? It's in Mentry Hall on the 1st floor. Cougar News recently had a chance to catch up with Larry Hurst, the gallery's art director.
Well, we try and do, they're doing about 8 to 9 shows a year, and they vary everything from our student shows to the next show, which is coming, which is our Early Childhood Education Center show, the little kids. And in between, we do things like this, which are solo shows sometimes for professional artists. This show is kind of interesting because this woman was a professional art instructor for kids for 30 years. And so there's a lot of ways in which she makes art that relates to the show that's coming in, the Early Childhood Education show. So it was kind of a nice segue. But this is a solo show. This is Sue Temler. And she graduated from Rhode Island School of Design, award-winning student at the time, and hasn't exhibited all that much, but has been working her whole career, and is starting to really exhibit quite a bit now that she's retired from teaching. The art gallery is open to the public. We are considered a public venue like the Performing Arts Center is, and so we advertise to some extent what we can afford. And anyone's welcome to come. We're open 11 to 3 Monday through Thursday, and sometimes we're able to extend hours if we get extra assistance or money, but we don't have a lot of funding. It's always free to the public. All of our exhibitions are archives from the beginning of the gallery from 1997 up, and our future exhibitions are all posted on our website, which is on the COC front page. You can click on Art Gallery and then go find out about what's going on, what's coming.
After the break, we take a look at what happened at the Santa Clarita Marathon.
Also, we take a look at some Cougar football. Stay tuned.
Habitat for Heroes.
Really, it's a story about people.
Letting people see that they're not alone, they're not isolated. We're here to help.
And we need to work on behalf of our veterans.
Then we can really change that veteran's ability to reintegrate into the community.
Habitat for Heroes is not just rebuilding homes, but it's rebuilding lives.
And that's the message we want to get across.
Get involved. Visit habitatscv.org and find out how you can help.
Amgen Tour of California released its schedule earlier this week, and Santa Clarita was named one of the tour's destinations. The Amgen Tour, considered one of the most prestigious and largest cycling events in America, starts at the state's Capitol building and plans to go through 11 cities in 8 days, with next year's containing 4 new host cities. Santa Clarita will host Stage 6, which plans to finish at Mountain High, and will return for Stage 7, which plans on finishing in Pasadena. Stage 6 is planning to start on Friday, May 16th, while Stage 7 is planned for Saturday, May 17th.
Endurance, mental toughness, and physical limitations are all tested at the 19th annual Santa Clarita Marathon. Oscar Rogel was there as the runners crossed the finish line.
On this Daylight Savings Day, thousands from all around the country participated in this year's Santa Clarita Marathon.
Keep going! Keep going! Woo!
Starting from the Westfield Valencia Town Center, runners went through a looped course of roadways, paved city trails, and paseos before crossing the finish line.
Good job, guys.
As you can see behind me here, each individual holds their own unique story on why they are participating in this year's marathon.
Presently, I just completed my 93rd half marathon, and I will complete my 100th marathon on January 4th, 2014 at the LA Night Half Marathon.
I actually started at 36 years old to lose weight, and I've been running ever since. I run with some people in their 80s, so I'm hoping that I'll make it that far as well. I enjoy it. Good people. It's always a lot of fun.
She's run over 40 marathons. 50. We do the LA Marathon every year. So we've done, that's 28 now, I think. So I'm only here because she dragged me. Yeah, and this is the 3rd year she's dragged me to the race. Yeah, but we love it.
I love to run marathons. I actually quit drinking alcohol, picked up running. That's actually what I do. I've been sober now over 25 years. Santa Clarita is special to me because I've run every one of them. I always try to run as fast as I can, give the best I can, and have a good time.
It's a great way to get rid of stress after work. It's fun. I love running. I've started running 2 years ago, and this will be my 10th marathon, and I just love it.
Results and more information can be found at scmarathon.org. Reporting from Valencia, I am Oscar Rogel for SCV TV.
A tradition like no other. So maybe it's not exclusive to COC, but homecoming is always a great way to connect the present to the past. Here's more with Kyle Gaffori.
Who are we? We are COC!
Saturday, COC hosted its homecoming tailgate party. This event brought some of the community together for a celebration of food, football, and fun.
So we provided food for students for $5 and for adults, and for children it was also $5, and then for adults it was $10, and that includes food and admission to the game. And it's just a celebration for our homecoming game against Moorpark.
Chancellor Dr. Diane Van Hook believes sports has a bigger meaning than scoring touchdowns.
I think athletics provides an opportunity for people to learn to be part of a team that it's hard to learn any other way.
From 1981 to 1998, there was no football for COC. Luckily, alumni involvement helped bring the program back better than ever.
Our alumni are amazing role models for our students. We're really lucky because at College of the Canyons, about 60% of our full-time faculty and staff and administrators were our students. It doesn't get any better than that.
Who are we? We are COC.
Food, spirit, and Cougar football is a great recipe for a tailgate. For Cougar News, I'm Kyle Gaffori.
And now for sports, we have Tyler Whiting.
That looked pretty fun, Tyler. What else you got for us in sports today?
Well, it was pretty fun, but there was still a game that needed to be played that night. The Cougar football team is running a 6-game win streak. Did they have enough to make it 7 in a row for their homecoming game? The Moorpark Raiders travel to the Cougar Den to face a tough conference opponent in COC. First quarter, Moorpark quarterback Nick Davis goes deep for Raymond Bolden. Lance Poole decided he wanted to have a career night, this being his first of a school record 4 interceptions. On the ensuing drive, Tony Dawson would break 2 tackles, go right, Oh wait, still going right. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up, head back left, and take it 20 yards to the house to give COC the early 7-0 lead. Now with the score 7-3, Moore Park running back Josh Robles busts through the goal line to put Moore Park up 10-7 at the half. Now after showing his athleticism in the first, Tony Dawson's like, I got some strength too, and gets his own 1-yard touchdown run, putting the Cougars up 10-7, or 21-10, sorry about that. Now in the fourth, running back Matt Bowen hits the hole and goes untouched 53 yards to the house, putting COC up 35-17, and most importantly, giving them the win.
Our defense is just so strong that we can give our offense some room to do their thing. So it's just like, it's the best feeling for me to know that we're helping the offense.
Our defense is outstanding. I mean, I don't know what the stats are. I don't care much for stats. 1 in the state, 2 in the state, who knows? All I know is our defense is outstanding.
It's a great feeling to, keep winning, and we love, defending our home turf. We've always said that we want to not lose at home, and, our guys have really bought into that.
Same with Cougar football. In an era where offense is a discussion, it's COC's defense that is the talk of this town. With a 7-1 record and top spot in the Northern Division, most of COC's success is attributed to their defense. COC not only leads the conference in points allowed per game, but turnovers and total yardage as well. It's easy to see why the Cougars have won their last 7 games.
I think we just need to keep buying in that, defense is obviously we were playing probably the number 1 team sport. That defense is the same way. When we tackle or we pursue the football, everything we do, there's a team concept. So as long as the guy does his job and the other guy, all the guys buy into doing their job, then we'll limit the amount of yards the team gets. Even though COC has 13 interceptions on the year, a point of emphasis for Coach Corbett is sure tackling and swarming the football. What we do from a strength and conditioning aspect, I mean, we generally believe we're going to be stronger and in better shape than everybody, so why not run to the football? With wins over Saddleback and defending conference champions Ventura, the Cougars are confident that as long as their defense continues to play well, they can play with anyone. For Cougar News, I'm Tyler Whiting. Haven't seen much of the COC female volleyball team lately? Well, Monique got a chance to catch up with the Lady Cougars about their current season.
Hey Cougar News, we're right outside COC's gymnasium, just about to watch the female Cougars play against Citrus College Wildcats. We got the opportunity to talk with the coach and a few of the players about their season so far.
Today I thought we did really good. We definitely adapted. We didn't lower our level of play. And then overall season, I think we're doing really good. We're number 1 in conference right now, so that's really cool. We're just going to keep working hard for the rest of the 5 or 6 weeks that we have, and then we're going to try to push to win conference.
The Cougars won against Citrus College 3-0. Aside from just being teammates, these girls have also built friendships among each other that make them more united and set on the same team goals.
I love them all. It might be like a bigger group this year, but I love them all. We all get along really well. We're able to mix up the teams and play together. It's really fun.
It's been a good season. We're tonight with this win, we're 16-3. So we're ranked, I believe, 12th in Southern California, 20th in the state, approximately. So we're having a good season. Our losses are to significant teams, so we're pretty pleased. We have a very freshman-heavy roster, so to be this successful with such a young and inexperienced team, it's really encouraging.
The ladies so far have had an excellent season, and we look forward to much more from them. For Cougar News, I'm Monique Urquidez.
This past Monday, College of the Canyons Athletics held their first ever press luncheon in the East Building at the Hall of Fame. With free food and free t-shirts, also on the menu, the luncheon was an opportunity for the coaches, student athletes, and media to connect. All the coaches were excited to talk about what their teams have accomplished or what to expect from their teams. Although every score on the fall is a shot in the postseason, the talking point for winter is youth.
It's good for our kids. I mean, honestly, that's really what it's about.
We have so many great stories here on the campus, and I just wanted to bring the media here and so that we can get these great stories out, and the student athletes are right there and they can talk with them.
On to high school sports, the Hart football team had an undefeated 8-0 record going into their senior night on Friday. Defending Foothill League champion Valencia came to Cougar Stadium to try and spoil that, as well as earn the Foothill League title yet again. This game did not disappoint. Vikings fans, hoping their team can pull off the upset for the second consecutive year. Opening drive, quarterback Jake Wallace hits J.J. Wilson for the touchdown to put Valencia up 7-0. Upset alert is on. On the very next drive, Hart's Brady White holds on and runs it in to tie it up. He does not want a repeat of last year. Valencia would extend their lead to 17 points at the half. Now in the fourth quarter, Hart trying to keep their perfect season alive. White doing all he can, takes the hit, still connects with Trent Irwin, who takes it 80 yards to the house. Hart trailing Valencia now 24-19. With just under a minute left in the game, Hart with a shot, but White is sacked on fourth down. Valencia's defense starts celebrating, knowing their team once again has pulled off the upset. The students storm the field knowing they have bragging rights for one more year. On the other side of the valley, the Golden Valley Grizzlies were looking for their first Golden League win by hosting the Centurions, but Saugus came to play and more.
ESB, talk a little bit about...
A beautiful night at Canyon High, where Golden Valley took on Saugus. And straight to the third, Saugus already with a large lead, and it's Reed Roop who takes it in from 10 yards out and extends the lead 28-6. Still in the third, it's quarterback Chris Hamilton who finds a wide open Timmy Kahovic for a 25-yard touchdown pass. Hamilton had 4 touchdowns on the night. This touchdown right here by Hamilton was all Roop. He takes a screen pass with blockers leading him, goes 31 yards untouched to the house. Saugus would blow out Golden Valley 56-6. High school basketball is right around the corner. It looks like Hart High School is one of the heavy favorites in the Foothill League. They're coming off a 25-3 season and have a point guard who is a rising star. Adam Schooms has the story.
A point guard is a team's floor general. He is the leader on and off the court. Hart High School has found their leader in point guard Miles Franklin. Franklin thrives off being the leader for the Indians.
It's not easy, but a lot of guys, they respect me because of what I've done.
Standing at 5'11" and weighing in 155 pounds, the junior uses his speed to blow by defenders. His court vision has grown along with his game.
I'm dribbling. My dad's trying to make me focus on defense also.
Pass! As soon as you see that ball in play, where were you, Cam? Where were you?
Head coach Tom Kelly has watched Franklin's game improve over the past 3 years.
He's come out of his shell. He's more assertive, more vocal. He's always been talented, but when he first got here, he was more quiet because he was a freshman, a little more reserved, but he's really opening up more.
Now in his third year as a starter for the Indians, the team maximizes his talents to get the most out of his playmaking abilities. Fellow Indian Lewis Stallworth feeds off the energy and passion that Franklin brings to the game.
Thank you guys for coming, tuning in to Hart practice today. You know, we're just trying to get better, trying to make a difference in the world, get a championship banner.
As cliche as it sounds as someone being born to play basketball, Miles' grandma knew it the moment she saw his legs. While being a star on the court, Miles maintains a 3-point GPA inside the classroom. All that hard work has paid off for the rising Franklin. Last year he was named to the California High Sports All-State team as a sophomore. The future is now for Franklin and the Indians, and it's sure bright. Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Adam Schooms.
That does it for a busy week in sports. Back to you guys at the anchor desk.
This Saturday, Saugus High School will be having a fundraiser for ASB, but this fundraiser is not your typical bake sale. The SCV TV morning show and James Frank tells us more.
Just focus on November 9th. Okay, that's Saugus High School.
Yes.
We're going to be there. It's going to be the biggest show the Knox Pro has done, by far. We got lighting, we got all kinds of new things going on. Surprises, I can't even tell you. Like,
How can it get any better than last year? I was at last year's at Valencia. That was a great show. You're saying it's going to be better?
It was a great show.
You know what Knox Pro is all about too is we always up ourselves. You know, so if we start at one level, we're always raising the bar.
Right.
So we're bringing it to the next level. So not only production-wise are you going to expect a big show, but we got a nice card matched up. You know.
And this time, again, there is a. How can I put it? There's going to be somebody on the staff of Saugus that we hear is going to be in part of the main event. But we're looking to also help to fundraise for ASB. I mean, our goal is to come into a community and also be able to help the schools and put money back into the schools and just start giving back.
Yeah, we got to give back, because we got to show faith in people that show faith in us. So
right.
it's a win-win.
Never been to a wrestling event. It is so much fun. I've been live.
There's lots of kids there, but they had a great time with it. The parents can absolutely feel comfortable bringing the family there, and that's one of the things that you guys really base all of your events around, is that they are family friendly.
Right.
And let me tell you, these guys are athletes. We talked about it last year when you guys were on the show. Such athletes. It's phenomenal to watch what they do, especially right there in your face. So the event is on November 9th at 7 p.m.
You can go to knoxpro.com and check it out. Tickets will be available at Knox Pro and also at Saugus High.
With Cougar News, I'm James Frank.
Watch out, candy makers. A local doctor has pounds of candy ready to be returned to the companies. Oscar Rogel has more.
Zach, so what are you doing?
I'm gonna weigh my candy because I wanna have a chance to win iPod Shuffle, and candy's not that good for you.
The Foundation for Wellness Professionals held their 3rd annual Candy to Music event, where the goal is to one day eliminate childhood obesity and diabetes.
What we're doing is for kids that bring in their leftover candy from the Halloween season, we're going to give them an opportunity to win an iPod. So they bring the candy in, they get a ticket in return, and then we do a drawing where we enter them to win, and then we pull a name and somebody gets an iPod Shuffle out of that. So it's a kind of exciting way of turning the candy into something good.
Whoa, look at there. 4.6 pounds. That's awesome. That's 4.5 tickets.
Do you like candy?
Yeah, but
not too much.
I do like it, but it's not good for you, so I'm trying not to eat a lot of candy.
So the obesity rate, 32% of Americans are obese, 1/3 overweight. In 1890, when they started the survey of white males in their 50s, the obesity rate was 3.4%. Now it's 32%.
What we wanted to do is to give back in some way, to do what we can to reverse that trend of childhood obesity. I'm hoping that at some point in the future here that we're able to get a country that's healthier. A healthier country is a better country, and it's a big goal. If we can get that, then I think we'll have some wonderful things happen, not just for our kids, but the future of our whole country.
Reporting from Valencia, I am Oscar Rogel for SCV TV and Cougar News.
That does it for this edition of Cougar News. I'm Monique Arquitas, and be sure to visit our website at www.cougarnews.com for more information.
And I'm Moshe Milan. If you have any news tips or suggestions, please email us at cougarnews@cairns.edu. Good night.